Alright guys, just San here, back for another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And in today's video, we're going to be checking out the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you, I feel like this guy probably could have been just a little bit better. Because of course, we only get Dragon Ball Heroes units once every year. So this guy, the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and then the Hearts, with them all being the main Dragon Ball Heroes leads now because they're the only 200% leads for that team. Or I guess they lead crossover, but of course, every Dragon Ball Heroes unit is on crossover, so pretty much the same thing. But considering they're the best leads, I definitely feel like they should have been just a bit better, because again, we only get it once a year, so with them having all these restrictions in their kit and all that, I don't know, I just feel like it's going to make them really wonky. And if we just get any more push in difficult content, like if content just gets a little bit more difficult, then running these guys, it's going to be pretty harsh, right? Because even now, in some stages of like Red Zone and stuff, you kind of have to cater towards them towards the beginning of events. And that's never really fun with units. But anyway, before we get into the video, if you find yourself enjoying it at any point, feel free to like and subscribe. Also, keep in mind there are timestamps in the video, so if you want to skip around any part, then absolutely feel free to do that. And yeah, let's get right into it. So on this opening rotation, we are going to have 5 out of 7 links. So in terms of links, we're looking pretty good. And we do also have some support from the Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. So we are at 207k defense. So that's pretty bad. But you do have to keep in mind, we get 30% attack and defense on our super attack effect. So any additionals would just skyrocket our defense even more. And then we do also get 60% attack and defense when performing a super attack from our passive. So that's a pretty big buff combined with the 30% from our super attack effect. And then we also get 30% damage reduction when all allies attacking in the same turn are super class, full power, or Dragon Ball Heroes category characters, which we're running the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Goku's team. And his 2 categories are crossover and full power. So we're going to have that throughout the whole fight. So, yeah, we have 30% damage reduction right here. We're going to get 60% attack and defense on super and then 30%. So that's going to put us at, what, a little over 400k defense? I mean, a little over 400k defense with 30% damage reduction isn't bad. That's pretty solid, right? I mean, that's pretty good, especially considering we are supporting all super class allies for 40% defense, because we do have a Vegeta on the same turn. So I guess that is a thing to keep in mind. He does support all allies for 40% defense if there's that Vegeta, and that is pretty clutch. That's a really good support. 40% defense. You're gonna notice it. Other units on the turn are gonna become a bit better defensively. And we are at a 7 million attack stat. Yeah, I mean, not a bad turn for him. He wasn't looking unimpressive. But, I don't know, I think he should have just been better, right? Because turn 1, 400k defense with 30% damage reduction. I mean, I don't know, like, super attacks are still going to hit this guy pretty hard from a lot of Red Zone stages, right? But in the right circumstances, he can look good. I mean, take this guy versus, like, Broly. Turn 1, he'll be fine. Take this guy versus, like, Omega Shenron. Turn 1, he'll be fine. But, I don't know, like, he doesn't get significantly better. So this guy does have a build-up, which I'll just tell you now. He gets an additional 40% attack and defense, and then guaranteed crits when this guy receives the 7th attack. So that means you're going to kind of want to put him in slot 1, or he's geared towards, throwing in slot 1, so then you can receive those 7 attacks quicker. But, I mean, this guy is not a slot 1 unit. If he gets supered before he super attacks, then you're definitely going to take a lot of damage, even from these weaker, like, phases in Red Zone stages, because 178k defense, that's just not going to cut it. Even with the 30% damage reduction, that's still just nowhere near good enough to tank super attacks from any Red Zone stage, really. But then after he supers, he can look pretty good, but that's only after he supers, and you have to receive the 7 attacks with him to build up the extra attack and defense, so, you want to put him in slot 1. And that's just kind of what I was saying earlier in the video with him being kind of wonky, because then it just makes it very odd, because, situations like this. But obviously, this is a Legendary Vegeta event, so we could just throw him in slot 1. Okay, well, we're getting supered, and we have type disadvantage. So, yeah, that was a little bit of damage. But as I said, he does get guaranteed crits as well from the 7th turn. So, I guess with that being said, you probably don't want to build this guy full crits. Maybe give him just a little crit if you really want to. But if, like, with my Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I would probably build him full additionals just to really capitalize on the 30% attack and defense he gets on super attack effect. Because if you're double supering, you're getting the 230% attack and defense buffs from that. You get the 60% from your passive, and then the 30% damage reduction. And then if you're fully built up, you have the additional 40% attack and defense. So in that situation, that's probably his best, like, just turn in the game. he can look pretty good, right? Because then you're pushing like 700k defense around about. I mean, we'll see in the video with 30% damage reduction. And that's pretty good. That's still taking a lot of damage from some supers because 30% damage reduction, unfortunately, just isn't really that high, right? I mean, you know, to survive a lot of these hard-hitting enemy supers with damage reduction, you're going to need something closer to like 50%, but 30% is still good, right? I don't want to undermine that. So combined with 700k defense, he could look really good, but that's like his best situation, and that's when he's fully built up. And as we already established, to fully build up with this guy, you have to receive 7 attacks, and that's just, I don't know. I feel like there could have been a better condition. I'll say that, right? Maybe if it was performing supers, so then you could still keep this guy in slot 2 or 3 or wherever you're, you know, have him in the team. And then you could still build up with him, right? But unfortunately, you have to receive the attacks, so I don't know. It just makes it to where this guy's use is going to be really odd. But we got the additional right there, so definitely pretty good. Our damage was looking good because we got the additional. This guy does not have any built-in crits or additionals, though, before that 7th attack. So, I mean, that was good, considering we got the Hidden Potential System additional, but it's not like that was built into our kit, that we just got really lucky, right? So that is kind of unfortunate there. But okay, we are supporting for 40% defense again, because we got the Vegeta on the team. This is pretty much the only reason I brought this guy. And right here we are at, yeah, 184k defense. I mean, you got to understand where I'm coming from, right? That's just really not the craziest. I know there's a lot of people that really do like the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4s, and I agree with you. The form is really cool. They're definitely not bad, but they just should have been a lot better because they are the main leads for Dragon Ball Heroes or crossover, you know, full power. So considering they're not that great, you know, you have to run 2 of them on the team. It could just get really complicated. But there's a Super Saiyan 4 Gohan as well, this guy right here. This guy's pretty crazy. If you're running a Dragon Ball Heroes team, you're most likely bringing that guy on the team because the Super Saiyan 4 Gohan is just insane. I mean, you want to talk about a good design, let's talk about this guy for a second. He has, okay, he gets 30% attack and defense on Super. So just with that alone, it's kind of solidified you're going to want to run this guy in slot 2. But with the 50% damage reduction, he could also work in slot 1. So just a very good design overall. But, alright, so right here, we have double support. We got 40% from the Xeno Goku. And then we do have some from the physical Bardock as well. And we are going to have 5 out of 7 links, so really good in terms of our links. And we are at 184k defense, so yeah, just a little low start of turn. I think that's a big issue with this guy. His start of turn defensive stat is definitely going to be very low. But alright, we'll throw him in slot 1 just so he can receive this attack because he has a pretty good chance to kill right here. I mean, if we get lucky with like crits and additionals from the Hidden Potential System, then, you know, we definitely could kill. But we are at a 5.1 million attack stat. Yeah, I mean, you know, what do I say? That's decent. The animation for the super attack is really good. I'll say that. I love the animation. I mean, I think they killed it with that. But I don't know. What he's actually doing is just, it's not really that crazy until you're fully built up. And even then, I mean, we'll see how much of a difference it makes. Because 40% attack and defense for when you receive the 7 attacks, that definitely is pretty good, right? That's a very significant buff, especially because it's calculated separately. And then, you know, the guaranteed crits. So, of course, that can make his damage look really good with the extra attack buff and the guaranteed crits. But I don't know, man. I just feel like he's just going to be kind of wonky. So right here, we're going to be looking a little bit better because we have Sand Roar activated. So we are at, all right, 184k defense again. So not really that big of a jump up. But we do have the support from the Vegito. And I think we're going to be fully built up right here after we receive these 2 attacks. Not too sure. If we don't get it right here, then, okay, we'll get it on the next turn we have him. So, all right, 7 million. A little bit higher because we have some more links active right here. Yeah, actually, now that I'm looking at it, the animation for it is actually really sick. It definitely does look good. They nailed it with that one. Okay, so now we're fully built up. So on this next rotation, we will see the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Goku fully built up. He'll have the guaranteed crit. So then I guess we'll go ahead and nuke with him after we showcase 1 turn of just him being fully built up. And then we'll probably bring him versus Cell Max, just because, of course, he has type advantage. I think with normals, after he supers, he'll definitely will survive normals from Cell Max. And possibly even a super. I'm not too sure about that, but it's definitely possible. Just because that damage reduction, right? So, and then after he supers, if he's fully built up, you know, defensively, he'll be looking pretty good. But, I don't know, if we get, like, locked in slot 1 or sealed or something like that, this guy's really not going to be looking that good, right? So, it's still kind of a wonky fight for him. But if we get lucky and don't get, like, you know, locked and sealed and all that, or supered, like, before we get to get our super attack off, then he can look pretty impressive fighting Cell Max. So, alright, this guy is fully built up as well. So, we got both the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4s fully built up, which is pretty good. We're here on turn 7, and now they're fully built up. That's not the latest into the fight. I mean, there's units with worse restrictions to be fully built up, but I don't know. I mean, still, that's just, it could be a lot better, right? I think maybe if they made it 5 attacks instead of 7 attacks, or maybe if they made it you need to perform 3 supers or something like that, it would have just been better overall, right? So, okay, start of turn, we're at 282k defense. So then after we super attack, we're going to be, what, a little over 500k now? So a little over 500k defense with 30% damage reduction. I mean, I don't know. That's really not that crazy because, yeah, we've got Sand Roar activated right here. We're only missing Sand Warrior Race and Experienced Fighters, which I don't even think... Does Sand Warrior Race give any defense? No, it doesn't. So we've got all of the defensive links activated. We have, what, 40% support from this guy and 30% support from this guy. And we're only going to be a little over, like, 500k defense after we super. Yeah, I mean, that... I don't know. That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. This is his best situation, pretty much. And this is how good we're looking. All right, well, let's see how good his attack stat is right here. Because defensively, not really all that impressed. But we do have a guaranteed crit. And we are at, okay, a 7.7 million attack stat. So with a guaranteed crit, yeah, that's pretty solid. I mean, his damage can look pretty impressive. Yeah, a little over 5 million damage. Pretty solid right there. You know, the guaranteed crit makes it to where even type neutral, type disadvantage, you can still do some pretty impressive damage. And if you do build them full additionals, which I already said I do recommend, then, you know, getting the double super, double crit is going to be pretty beneficial towards your damage. You know, you're definitely going to be doing a lot. So, all right, what we'll do is we will nuke with him right here. We are at 258k defense, so even a little bit lower with this guy because we don't have as much support. But in terms of links, this guy's going to be looking a little bit better. We still have Sand Roar activated. I just keep on mentioning that because Sand Roar obviously is a very good link. Now, we can't throw the Gohan in slot 1 because as we already established, he is an insane unit. And, okay, hopefully we get pretty lucky with Key Spheres. Okay. Can you get the other ones? What is that, 15? Alright, I'll take it. 15 isn't horrible. 15 will work. So we got 15 int Key Spheres. We're going to pop the World Tournament Announcer item. We have some support on the rotation as well with the Xeno Goku. And we do have the guaranteed crit, actually, so keep that in mind. Okay, we're getting supered. How much is this going to do? I mean, it's definitely not going to kill, but I'm just curious how much damage. 85k. Alright, I mean, this Gohan gets a lot of defense on super as well. He gets 30% here, and then I think 50% from his actual, like, passive when he performs a super. So 18.5 with a guaranteed crit. Obviously, that is pretty good. yeah, 11.6 million damage. Alright, yeah, that's pretty crazy, but of course it was a nuking rotation, so it's not actually, you know, nothing in his kit is helping him with that. That's just, you know, the nuking turn, or the nuking items, I guess. But the guaranteed crit definitely did make that attack stat look a little bit more pretty, and he does have that built into his kit, so there is that. But alright, with all that shown, let's go ahead and cut to the Cell Max test and see how good he's looking in there. Alright, so we're here fighting Cell Max, and I want to start recording for this physical phase, because of course this is a pretty big issue with this guy, is because Cell Max is doing the AoEs, it's going to make it to where the Goku is going to get hit before he supers, even if you have him in slot 2. And of course, it's physical too, so this is kind of just a bad turn for him. So I do want to showcase this just to get, obviously, the bad rotations in the showcase. Then we'll have the good rotations in the final phase once he has type advantage. But yeah, right here we got double support, so we're going to be looking pretty good. We're not fully built up, but I think maybe with all these attacks, well, no, not with all these attacks, we're not going to get fully built up. Because he's only received, like, I don't know, 2 attacks up to this point. But anyway, we are taking 23k damage. Alright. Alright, so that's not really that bad. 23k damage definitely is survivable, right? I mean, you know, if you're full on HP, it's not really going to make that big of a difference to your just fight overall. So then I think it's safe to say after we super, we're easily going to be at double digits. But yeah, what is this? Yeah, okay, so yeah, about 25k damage. So not really the worst. I think definitely that is a bit of damage, and that does go to show start of turn. You know, he can't get destroyed, but that's not as much as I actually thought it would be, considering, you know, Cell Max. I mean, this is the physical phase, so it doesn't really hit that hard. You know, it's only the second phase of the fight, but he could still cook some units. I mean, type disadvantage. He can definitely mess your run up. All right, so we're here fighting Cell Max, and we have a very good setup for him right here. We are going to have 5 out of 7 links, and then we also have some support from the Vegito. We are going to take a super after we super attack. So we'll be able to see how much damage we're taking from that. And we are fully built up. We're at 320k defense. So actually, that is pretty solid because then after we super, we are going to be around 600k defense. So with a double super, we could look really impressive. I think we definitely would live if we double super, but not really sure if we'd get that because, of course, he doesn't have that built into his kit. But I think we're fine with these normals because the 30% damage reduction, I think that's really going to help us tank these normals right here. Okay, so not quite double digits, but a little under 10k. Not the worst, not the worst. And then a 9.69 million attack stat, guaranteed crit. That's actually really good in terms of damage. Yeah, 7.3. And we did get the additional. All right, so it looks like we're going to survive a super. I don't know. We'll see. So double digits from the normal. I mean, yeah, I could tell you that. After the double super, so a lot of defense there. 231k. That is pretty impressive. 231k from a super from Cell Max is definitely not that much damage. Now, yeah, Super Saiyan 4 Vegito taking a little bit more than 240k, even just from a normal, but still a pretty good showcase. We'll bring him back in one more time to see how good he's looking. But overall, I'm pretty impressed. Keep in mind, we got the double super, though. That's going to be very rare for you unless you build him, with some additionals. But considering he only comes back, once every year, I don't really think it's going to be that common that you have dupes to build this guy, full additional or something like that. So that was kind of a rare circumstance where we got the double super. But anyway, let's go ahead and cut back to the Cell Max test. All right, so we're here on another rotation with the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Goku. We got some support from the Bardock, and we've got majority links active, so we should still be looking really good. We are going to take a super, so I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see how much damage we take. We are fully built up, though, but defensively, we're a little bit weaker on this turn because we lost some support, than the previous turn we had him on. So we're not going to tank this super as well, but I'm still curious if we would tank it, survive it, right? I mean, wow, that was a lot of damage from Bardock. Was not expecting that. All right, so a little over 8 million. I think this is a guaranteed crit because we're fully built up. Okay, yeah, okay, so we are fully built up because of the crit. Now, how much are we taking from this? If this is anything under 300k, then that was not under 300k. So it seems without the double super, defensively, yeah, you're not going to tank Cell Max's super as well. I mean, I guess, I guess that's kind of obvious, but yeah, that's a lot of damage. All right, well, with all that shown, let's go ahead and cut to the unit breakdown. All right, here we have Breaking Limits for Victory, Super Full Power Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker Goku Xeno. Surprised I didn't mess up that name. All right, so starting off with his leader skill, it is Crossover or Full Power, category Ki +3, HP attack and defense plus 170%, and then the extra 30% is to Dragon Ball Heroes. So pretty good leader skill. We definitely did need a 200% for, Crossover Dragon Ball Heroes. His super attack effect is that he raises attack and defense for 1 turn, does immense damage. So pretty good, just some attack and defense for 1 turn. I think that is another reason why you're going to want to build him full additionals, is just because of that 30% attack and defense on super. And then this guy's passive is that he gets 3 Ki, 180% attack and defense. He gets an additional attack and defense plus 60% when performing a super. And then he gets an additional 80% attack and reduces damage received by 30% when all allies attacking in the same turn are super class, full power, or Dragon Ball Heroes category characters. And then he gives super class allies 40% defense when there's an ally whose name includes Vegeta attacking in the same turn. And then he gets an additional 40% attack and defense, and then the guaranteed crit once you receive 7 attacks. So, I mean, very simple. I just think he should have just been a little bit better. Maybe make this 200%. Maybe make it to where this is 50%, and then make the condition, I don't know, I said it earlier in the video, I think 5 attacks instead of 7, or maybe 3 supers instead of just receiving attacks. And if they really want it to be nice, you can make this a little bit higher in terms of damage reduction. But I don't know, maybe I'm asking for too much. I don't know, let me know in the comments how you feel about this guy, because I know I'm giving him a lot of crap, but I'm kind of on the fence about him, right? Because I could see an argument for why you would say he's good, because in the right situations, we saw him tank Cell Max, but then we also saw him take 600k from a super, so I could also see an argument to why you'd think he's bad. So just let me know in the comments how you're feeling about him. And then his links are Saiyan Warrior Race, Super Saiyan, Experienced Fighters, Prepared for Battle, Kamehameha, Saiyan Roar, and Fierce Battle. So a pretty solid link set. He's going to work well with a lot of Super Saiyan 4s because of this link right here. And then his categories are Crossover, Full Power, Dragon Ball Heroes, Pure Saiyans, Time Travelers, Goku's Family, Kamehameha, Grade 8 Power, Turtle School, Defenders of Justice, Accelerated Battle, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, Bond of Parent Child, Warriors Raised on Earth, and then Power of Wishes. So, alright, that is the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Once again, let me know how you guys are feeling about him down in the comments. Let me know how many copies you have of this guy. Me, personally, I did manage to pull, I think, 1 dupe of him. But yeah, that has been the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.